I don't know if it's just me, but I really feel like there's something that's watching me and it's making sure that my life is as miserable, depressing, and stressing as possible. I don't know if it's schizophrenia or I don't know if it's just extreme stress and years of just being in depression and years of just going through all these negative events that seem to accumulate and seem to just focus, you know, on breaking down my confidence and breaking down my cognitive abilities and functionalities and making me just feel drained. Sometimes I feel like there's like another thing inside of my mind, if that makes any sense. I feel like there's something evil or something inside of me that's monitoring my thoughts. And whenever I have any type of positive thoughts that can uplift me or make me feel good, this little voice or this little negative energy, it kind of like shocks me, or it kind of like tries to say things inside of my mind to take away my confidence and make me feel low and make me feel like I'm nothing and make me feel like um life will never get better and it will never change or whatever. And it's very weird. And then sometimes I feel like I'm watching myself from like a 3D perspective, right? Like I feel like I'm watching myself from person at times. And I think this is what happens when the mind and the brain becomes extremely depressed and extremely stressed out. It just feels weird and it feels odd. But I truly feel like there's something that I can't see in another dimension, in another realm, or something like that that seems to have it out for me. Because I was talking to somebody and I told them everything that I've been through just in the last couple of years. And they were shocked. They really didn't believe me. They were like, no way one person can go through all that, still be able to make a YouTube channel and build that up. Meanwhile, there's people that have, two-story houses. They have a mom, a dad, they have a car, they have like an expensive computer set up, and they're not able to make, YouTube videos or anything like that. And especially get people that actually, vibe with them and understand their perspectives and point of view about life. He was like, you know, there's like you got something there, and he was telling me like, I want to see you make more music, and I want to see you get better equipment. I want to see you, I want to see you make it, man. I'm rooting for you, and that felt good. It really did. But I understand in this world, every time you get something good, something bad has to follow. It seems that way, and it seems like it's orchestrated to balance things out for certain people. I have this little like thing that I've been thinking about where what if everybody who has good lives, everybody you see who has the life you want, everybody you see that has everything you could only imagine and dream, what if all these people are actually the Hylics? They're actually the NPCs, and people like us who go through real crap in life, we're the people that actually have real souls. And the evil, vile demiurge knows this, so he puts us in a world where everybody around us is an NPC, and we're the ones that are actually the ones with the real soul. And this God uses these people to make us feel bad, because when we feel bad, we don't know it's fake. We think it's real people with real souls that are getting these quote unquote blessings and this good life. And we think it's real. So when we feel these feelings of inadequacy, we feel these feelings of rejection and dejection. We feel these feelings that we can't really fit into this world. We feel these feelings of we're behind in life. We're too old to do this. We're too old to do that. We see people that are half our age, way younger than us, accomplishing so much. Like there's so many people, especially nowadays, there's so many people that I see that are way younger than me that are making so much money. I'm talking about kids that are like 21 years old, making 30 to 50K to 75K a month. Like they have all that, like they have little things going on, like, buying people's Fortnite accounts and, selling like skins and stuff. Like they have all types of little online hustles and things that I can't even think about, because it's like I'm so out of tune and I'm not around anybody that has a propensity for entrepreneurship, you know? And that's another thing. It's like, what if everything we see right now It's from some evil being that's trying its best to destroy us and make us like produce this loose energy. I mean, just listen to Schizo Dumps. Do you guys watch Schizo Dumps? Please watch Schizo Dumps. If you're listening to me, pause the video, go subscribe to Schizo Dumps right now. Then when I speak, you understand it a lot better because he explains it a lot better than I can. Because I get passionate because I'm speaking from my soul, and I think that's why people like me. I don't really hold back because I don't have anything, and like I'm not this YouTuber. Hey guys, like, comment, and subscribe. It's like, nah, bro, I'm talking about my real life, what I'm really going through, my real emotions, my real feelings. But when you don't have the right type of people around you, man, it makes life extremely difficult. If like everybody around you is just telling you to get a 9 to 5 and get a job and do this, and it's like we don't have any family either. Some people have family, and their family, may help them out or may do this or may do that. But some of us, we don't have family at all. Like, we don't have anybody we can lean on. We don't have anybody we can go to. We got people that are actively trying to destroy us, people that are actively trying to break us down even more. Even though we're already at the bottom, we're already poor, we're already unattractive. We don't have that much success in life like that. And we just want to mind our business and have people leave us alone. Yet, people seem hell bent on trying their best to keep attacking a dead dog or keep attacking a dead horse. It's like, what's the point of kicking somebody when they're already down? What kind of joy or amusement do you get out of it? What's wrong with you? You know? And this is why I wish they could, you know, have you guys ever seen that movie, The Purge? That's all I gotta say. I've seen all the movies, all the variations of that movie, and that's all I'll say on that, right? But it seems like some certain people really need to get their just due, right? Certain people are evil. They have no compassion. They have no empathy. They don't care that you're going through something, and they just want to attack you when you're down, right? And you have people that would do all types of just disrespectful things to you when you're at your job, when you're at school, when you're at these places. People may talk to you a certain way, but if you snap on that person and you commit some type of act that involves physical confrontation, then now all of a sudden you're in a situation where you're in the crime violation. All of a sudden you broke the law, which is crazy, right? Like, this system is designed to make you just into a little schoolgirl. That's what the system is designed to break you down into. But we're men. We're men, and men have issues with anger. Men have issues with feeling alone, feeling psychologically devastated, feeling trapped, feeling isolated, feeling like this life is not going to get better. Every single day we wake up in this hell and we wonder, like, why the hell am I still here? Why? What's the point of me being here? Like, does it really matter if I'm here or not? Does it matter if I disappeared on a spaceship tomorrow, or fall down the Grand Canyon, or go to Skinwalker Ranch, or, Dave Politis, missing 411, something comes out the woods and snatches me, like a dog man or a Bigfoot or a Skinwalker, whatever the heck it is, and they snatch me and eat me in the cave somewhere, or take me to a portal to another dimension or whatever. Would that still matter? What skills or what assets do I have? What do I have an acuity to, right? What do I have that's fomenting, that's going to accelerate and stabilize so I can have financial acceleration? What kind of talents or attributes can I utilize to make myself in a good financial position? And if you don't have the answer to those questions, it breaks you down, because you start to think like, okay, well, what's the point of this life? What's the point of anything in this world if I can't really do what I want, if I can't really live the life that I want, if the life that I'm living now is all I get? Like, I don't get to have the girl, the house, the car, the Bentley, the Ferrari, the things that make life worth living. And even if you don't like those luxurious things, like, I know that I'm probably never going to be a multi-millionaire unless I get lucky, unless I really get lucky and meet the right people, but that's okay. As long as I have enough money where I'm not a wagey and a cagey, and I'm able to afford even a small, like, I know I never get no big old house or something like that, but you never know, right? But I know for a fact right now, I can't get no $3 million house or nothing like that, right? So I'll be happy with just an apartment, even without a car. I'll just be happy with an apartment, enough money where I can survive every month without, you know, going to the streets or renting some room for some random person who got their own weird proclivities and interactions, and it's just they got their own demons that follow and haunt them, and you don't know this person. Like, you don't want to rent rooms with random people you don't know. This person could be a serial marauder for all you know, and you don't want to deal with that mess. You don't want to deal with that nonsense. You don't know what kind of spirit or demons this person has, right? So you want to stay far from them. But I'll be happy with just an apartment that I can afford every month, and I don't have to be a wagey, and I can blow Mary Jane and play my video games. I know that to some people they don't find that to be a fulfilling life, but for a person like me, I love isolation. I love being by myself at this point. Because I know every time I try to hang out with people, every time I try to fit in, I'm always the one that gets targeted. Always, always, always. I'm the one that gets targeted. I'm the one that gets picked on. I'm the one that everybody fucks with. And I'm the one with the most patience. I'm the one that doesn't snap. I don't go ER, you know? Meanwhile, the people that are ready to snap, nobody seems to mess with them until it's too late. And then everybody wants to try to figure out, oh, what happened? Oh, this, that, and this, and oh, why did he do that? Why would he do that? Oh my gosh, that person's crazy. That person's a maniac. No, that person's not a maniac. That person just got fed up because that person probably been through a lot of things in life and gave people plenty of chances to leave them alone, and they kept at it. So when that person finally snapped and finally went on the attack and finally just, started to defend themselves, because like you can only like have you ever seen an abused animal at a zoo, at a circus or something like that? And or it's a perfect example, at SeaWorld, and they have those can I even say that on YouTube? They have those whales that they have the black and white whales that are known for unaliving other whales, and they call them unaliving whales, right? You know what I'm talking about, SeaWorld, right? And every now and then you have like a trainer that the whale gets mad at, and it just takes a trainer and it plays with him. It takes him underwater, and it pretty much just pulls the trainer underwater, and the trainer never comes back up in this dimension. They escape this dimension and go into another dimension because of that whale. And you're like, damn, that's an evil whale. But then you find out the trainers were mistreating that whale. They were beating that whale. They were hitting the whale. They were electrocuting the whale with a little electric prods. They were trying to get the whale to do a trick, and the whale didn't want to do the trick, so they didn't want to feed the whale. Then they electrocute the whale. They do all these things to the animal, and then when the animal like bites back, then it needs to be euthanized, and the animal is the one that is problematic. Isn't that crazy? How somebody who's defending themselves becomes the problem when the problem is actually the people that are attacking. And this world, man, you're going to have your own mind try to attack you as well. That's what's brutal. You can already be suffering, going through it, and you can have outside external forces, people at your job, people at school, your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister. You can have people like that trying to attack you. And you can have your own mind trying to attack you as well. So it's like a constant hell. It's like a constant barrage of affliction, and you don't know how to escape it. And you have nobody to talk to. Guys like us, we don't have nobody to talk to. We don't have no girls who want to talk to us. If any girls listen to me, they don't want nothing to do with me. They probably listen, this guy's a loser, And like, they'll only want something to do with me if I start making it in rap. If I start blowing up on YouTube, I start getting videos, getting 100,000 or 1,000,000 views, making little music videos, and I start popping. I start, rapping with, Drake or something like that, Then then all of a sudden, oh, well, he is kind of handsome, Oh, I used to watch his videos all the time, Then that starts popping up, just fake as hell. Like, I'm a real one, G. I'm not with all that fake ish. I'm real, man. And when you're real, you have a bunch of fake things that attack you, things that are fake, things that are malicious, events that seems orchestrated and organized against you to make you feel bad about yourself. Like take a look, listen to me. Take a look at something in your life. It's something that you just absolutely despise, that you have to do every single day. And then take a look at certain events that happened in your life that kind of broke your spirit. Maybe it was like trying to talk to a girl and you got rejected. Doesn't a lot of that seem planned? Especially if you got embarrassed or humiliated and devastated in front of a girl, and like her in front of a girl and her friends got to see it. And it seemed like, okay, this is just too perfect for my destruction. Like all these things lined up just so it can try to screw me over. But things never line up so good things can happen. And you can try to cope and try to hope. But as the rehab room says, the black pill always collects. Always. I got people saying, oh, I don't like listening to negativity and all that. And well, life is negative, man. The food you eat is negative. Oh man, this is some good chicken. Well, guess how that chicken came to upon your plate? It wasn't a happy story. That chicken wanted to live just as much as you want to live right now, but it was forced to be taken out this dimension and become food for you, to become sustenance for you. You think that chicken didn't want to live another day and eat corn off the ground? No. Yeah, it wanted to live. And do you think that if you didn't eat that chicken, you didn't have any type of, like, if you didn't eat that food, that you had another choice? No, you don't got no choice. You have to eat. You're forced in this world to eat. You're forced in this world to eat the bodies of other species, of other beings that are living, that have their own thoughts, feelings, and emotions. What kind of sick, cruel world do we live in? How can people not see that this is an evil hell realm? It doesn't matter if you believe in religion, believe in things or not. Can we all agree that what we live in is not right? And if there is a God or a being, that being is not on our side, right? Look at what's going on in the world today. How come humans become so advanced? One thing that I find funny is, like, you go in certain comment sections and people be like, "Oh, I'm so glad we're not like that." Like I was watching a documentary on King Henry VIII. If you know anything about King Henry VIII of England, he was the one that executed 6 of his wives. He had 6 different wives, and then he had them all beheaded. Which is crazy, right? And he was like a big fat king, but in his younger days, he was healthy. And he had a huge ulcer on his leg that pretty much was rotting like all the time. And he would have grand feasts like every single day and throughout the night. He was a big fat king, right? And I read the comment sections and people are like, oh, I'm so glad we're not like that. I'm so glad we're more of a civilization, this, that, and this. And I just say Epstein files, and that breaks all that down. I just say, look at you don't even have to go to the elite. Regular people in regular everyday life are assholes. People who are just regular people that work 9 to 5 jobs. These are people that can be bullies and be malicious and sadistic and twisted. You don't have to be a multimillionaire or a billionaire to be evil. There are poor people that are evil as well, and some of these people are the ones that we encounter on a daily basis. So that's even worse. Sometimes I feel like life is a curse, man. I feel like life is a punishment. What do you guys think life is? Tell me. What do you think this life is about? Tell me, what is consciousness? What does it mean to be a conscious being, where you can think, you can feel, you can have emotions, you can have all of these type of things, you can see, you can play video games, you can eat food. Like, what's the purpose of all this, of all this pain that we go through, if it's not for loose energy harvesting and loose energy soul farming? Which means that there's a being that feeds off of our negative energy. Why are all of us sad and miserable? How come I couldn't make it in what I wanted to make it in? How come you didn't make it in what you wanted to make it in? How come you're at a job that you don't like? You're at that job that you don't like because you need the money in order to pay your rent and pay your bills. How come we have bills in the first place? Why do we have bills yet the Rothschilds, they don't have bills? And America's greatest ally, hell, America pays all their bills. So how come we have to live a life where we have to pay bills? Why? Who does that benefit besides the elites? Who does it benefit that we have to go to a 9 to 5 every single day? And then before you even get the paycheck, taxes take half of it out of it, And then once you get your paycheck, it's not enough to even do anything. It's not even enough to wipe your butt with. It's not, right? You got to buy food. You got to buy clothes. You got to pay this. You got to pay insurance. You got to pay your electric bill, your Wi-Fi bill, your phone bill. You got to pay this, do that. And it's like, damn, right? Like, why is everything trying to tax us? Why are we being taxed? Why are we being punished for just being alive? What freaking sense does that make? Does it make any sense to you? Look at your life and look what you're doing right now, right? Or look what you have to do for money every single day. Is that something that you want to do for the rest of your life, or is something you're doing because of survival? Because you have to survive. No one's there to hold your hand. No one's there to give you a helping hand. No one's there to look out for you. No one's going to try to, grab your hand and lead you to the motherland and lead you to $1 million. It seems like everybody who tries to take your hand tries to cut off your hand. They try to make sure you don't get successful. They try to make sure you don't become powerful. That's what I feel like in this world. It's like something doesn't want certain people to win. And that's what it truly feels like. It truly feels like there's something that wants us all to really lose, at least guys in our position. There's billions of people on the earth, billions and billions of people, different types of languages, different types of dialects, different types of accents, different types of skin color configurations, different types of perspectives and ideologies, but we all suffer the same thing, which is pain. We all suffer depression. We all suffer from isolation. We all suffer from not having enough money, not having enough food, not having enough height, not having enough girls, not having enough power, not having enough, respect, not having enough, not having enough. How is there a world that there's billions and trillions of planets and stars, yet we're on a planet that has finite resources? Make it make sense. Why do we have finite resources in the first place? How come we don't have infinite of everything? How come we don't have infinite life right from the jump? That's a red flag against this wicked God. So you're telling me we could die or pass away from a heart attack, brain aneurysm, a stroke. You can get cancer. You can get all these negative health, these health afflictions. Why is that even allowed? Why it feels like something like, why do we even have pain receptors? I was playing Metal Gear Rising, and I was playing the DLC with that dog. I don't know if you guys ever played Metal Gear Rising. One of my favorite games, though. But it has that robot dog, and he was talking to like one of his handlers before he betrayed her, and he was talking. She was saying something about like something about being scared or something. He said, "My creators didn't program fear into me," and I was like, "Wow, that was deep for me," because he says, "My creators didn't program fear into me." So why did God, y'all the boss, your Christian Bible, the God of the Christian Bible, why did He program fear into us? Because fear gives Him control. Fear, pain, intimidation, isolation, desolation, spiritual degradation, that all gives Him control. Why is this God, who's supposed to be such a loving, caring God, call Himself jealousy? Why? Why did that God allow that person who said, "I'll sacrifice the first thing that comes through that door," and it was his daughter, and that God allowed that man to do that? He didn't stop him. Why does God have a chosen people? Doesn't that seem weird? You tell me then why did He create all these other people if this God has a chosen people? Doesn't that seem unfair that certain people are chosen by this quote unquote God? I say quote unquote because he is the God of this world, but He's Yard above. He's the demiurge. He's Sophia's bastard. He's a mistake. He's evil, wicked, and sadistic and twisted. But it says He has a chosen people. So that means that if you're not His chosen people, you're going to be screwed. And even His chosen people, even they get screwed over. So, and this God's a maniac. It's crazy. It's a true schizophrenic. It's a schizophrenic mind, and it's unpredictable. But the difference is He has the power to alter galaxies, to alter realm, to control life. To do whatever He wants. Meanwhile, we're limited in power. How come we all can't be gods? Because I guarantee, if we had the same power as this God, He wouldn't be lording over us like He does. He wouldn't be, doing the bad things to us. Because people only do bad things to you when they know they can get away with it, or they got more power than you, or there's some type of power differentiation of it. That's when people seem to want to like mess with you. People only mess with you because they think they can get away with it. They think nobody's going to know. They think they'll never get caught. They think that they can just do it over and over again and nothing's going to happen to them because they haven't faced repercussions. But the moment they face repercussions, then you want to try to hide and want to try to, back away. Isn't that crazy? So why is this God? I feel like this God or this being needs to face some type of repercussions. Whoever created this existence is an evil bastard, and they need to face some type of punishment because the world we live in is not a good realm. This is not a good realm. We are not happy. How can so many people not be happy, and yet people still want to believe and worship this God? Like, make it make sense. How on earth are we supposed to get by when we can't even do the things that we truly want to do in life? Do you really want to go to that job every day? If somebody handed you $1 million, would you? If somebody gave you $1 million in your savings account or your checkings account, they just transferred $1 million. Now you remember you got to pay taxes. You know what I mean. When you get that $1 million, and it's not all for you got to put a little percentage up, for taxes, right? But if you had $1 million, would you go to work tomorrow morning? Or tonight, or hell, you could be at work listening to this right now. Would you be at work, or would you go to work if you didn't have to? Or do you go to work because you have to? You have to. You're forced to. Why would a God create a realm where you're forced to do things that you don't want to? That's a big red flag, right? Because a good, loving, and caring God would make sure your mental state is happy, would make sure you're good. Like I was saying earlier, man, like I was talking to somebody about my life. That person, he's a bigger YouTuber too. He's like, hey, man, tell me what's up. And I was just telling him everything that happened to me in the last 3 years. And he's just like, what the fuck? He's like, bro, that is a pattern. He's like, I see why you talk about the demiurge a lot, because it does seem like there's something messing with you and messing with certain people. He's like, what are the odds of those things happening? He's like, do you know how many people, make YouTube channels? How many people show their face? How many people just talk? How many people, do you know how many people do that? And do you know how many people like just casually talk about their life and just like, you know what I mean? Like, and do you know how many people like suffer people passing away and people, like being homeless and still making use like, bro, that like it looks like you're a rare breed. You have to be. It's like, and all these events are showing that you're just not a normal person. There's something about you. Maybe you should have been a famous rapper. It's like maybe you should have been a famous rapper or famous whatever you wanted to be, and something really held you back because it didn't want to make you happy. He's like that. He says after telling me everything you just told me, that sounds plausible. And I'm like, yeah, really, because when I see certain people that made it and they're in a good position financially and they have everything they always wanted and dreamed of, a lot of these people, they didn't even suffer half as much as what I suffered and what we suffered in this position. Because I know there's guys that are going through things like me, homeless with nothing, no family, no money, trying to make it, dealing with all types of stresses and all types of turmoil, dealing with mental anguish. I'm still sad about my grandmother passing away. I haven't got over that. That's my grandmother, my uncle, both my aunties, one of my other cousins, and it's just like, damn. I lost so many people that, that I was close with. These are people that I was close with. These are people that I've seen every single day of my life, and they're just gone. And then life keeps attacking me. So if I snap and I go ballistic on somebody, then life is going to say, oh, you're wrong. You're going to go to prison because you did this, that, and the third. Oh, you're going to prison now. But it's like, didn't you see the things that happened to me that led up to this? Because the things I've been to, the things I've been through, the people that, the people that make our lives miserable, if they were to step in our shoes, they wouldn't survive a motherfucking day. They wouldn't survive a day, the things that we go through. Yet they want to call us weak. Yet if they were in our shoes, they wouldn't live a second. And certain people, I believe, are placed by the demiurge to just cause you trouble in your life. I truly believe the Hylics, the Hylics, the NPCs, they're put here to try to, first of all, they know, they're attracted to the divine spark. Those of us that has a divine spark inside of our souls, we attract all types of things. We attract people that they're just, I don't know. We attract all types of things, and they're attracted to us because they're parasites. They're feeding off of our energy. You see, we can create indefinitely. We're smart. We're intelligent. We see the world for what it really is. Our only problem is that we don't have any money. And I remember Schizo Dumps made an excellent video talking about the correlation of spiritual acceleration and stabilization, and how and how like a lot of people that are spiritual are poor. What was that one guy? Dionysus, I think that's what his name is. I remember in history, I think his name was Dionysus or something like that, but he was the one that told Alexander the Great, move, you're standing in my sun. Because he was a homeless guy, but he spoke a lot of truth. And then Alexander the Great came to the city and said, tell me, what is it? What is it that you want? And I'll give it to you. And he told him, like, he told Alexander, now this is Alexander the Great in his prime. He told Alexander, you're standing in my son. And Alexander took such a liking to that guy because he wasn't scared of him, right? So Alexander respected him, but, people like that, people that see the world, like people like us who can see the world for what it really is, we seem to be the people that have the most problems when it comes to economic stabilization for some reason. It's like, for some reason, if we got money, like if I was a millionaire, do you know how great my videos would be right now? Right? Right? Like I'd be making videos on a yacht, videos on a submarine, on a private jet, all types of places, hell, into space, you know, and I probably have, a much better quote unquote outlook on life. But would that be the realistic outlook on life that most people go through? Because most people are never going to be millionaires. And I guarantee that I'll be a much more happier person. But knowing the things I know now, even if I had $1 million, I know the truth that one day my heart's going to stop. One day I'm going to take my last breath. And it's going to be me and the demiurge and his archons. And it's going to be up to me to see that light and not want to go into that light, to go into that eternal infernal darkness and jump into the abyss and fall into the infinite waters of blackness and darkness and try to find my way and escape, And the demiurge may send monsters after me. He may try to trap me in a realm and throw giant spiders, giant snakes, things I can't even imagine, giant centipedes or whatever to try to eat my soul and spirit in the spirit world, And he may try to scare me with scary visions and scary hells and try to throw me to the abyss with Abaddon or Hades. And he may try to attack me when I pass away, but I would never give up on my chance to get to the pleroma. The pleroma is where I need to go back to. And this God is holding us back from our true divinity and our true power. And that's not right. And we shouldn't be subservient under a merciless, evil, sadistic, twisted God. We should be able to create things that we want. We should be able to think about the life that we want and it manifest. Right? I want to find a good girl in life, but I know that's impossible. Because I know how modern women are. Most modern women have a body count of over 100, and they're going to lie and say that's not true. And you got some girls, well, I didn't sleep with 100 people, but you slept with at least 20. Yeah. Don't lie to me. Who you talking? Don't lie to me. I know damn well, especially these girls that are, I'm a gamer girl, and I'm a gamer girl, and those are the biggest e-thoughts possible. But we see them go to those gaming conventions and dress half naked. Who do you think they're trying to attract? They're not trying to attract the neck beard. They're trying to attract Chad there too. Or the Chad lights that go there. They don't want. Even these nerdy girls don't want nerdy guys. Even these nerdy girls, they want the Chads. So it leaves the regular guys like us. It leaves us in the dust. It leaves us in the wind. It leaves us, with nowhere to begin. This world is absolutely brutal, man, and I wish that I lived in another dimension. I wish I could go into the anime worlds, and just live there. Right? I wish it. Like I was watching Free Beyond Journey's End, and that's where I got my original profile pic, which was Siri. She's like the ancient like sorceress. That was my original profile pic, and I love that anime world, and I wish I could just go to that anime world and live there forever, because the world that we live in now is an absolute hell.